Hello and welcome back to the CouchSide Sports Report. I am Simon, that is Dylan, and we are back for the third episode of the year, that is 2026, the 1st in February.
It's already Feb, it's crazy.
It's already Feb.
Or being already Feb is crazy.
It's crazy, it's gone very quick.
Yes, it has gone
We've only
quick.
got 1 month left this summer. We've got to make the most out of it,
Yeah.
you know.
Or left of our summer. If you're from the Northern Hemisphere, you're probably cold as ice right now, but...
Shame.
But no, well, it might be good for them because I won't lie, where we are is humid and it's a heater, bro.
It's actually raining today, but it's humid as hell. So
Yeah. There may be a chance where you might see me lean to this side. It is to grab the air conditioning, what's it called, remote, and turn it on because this is hot in the studio. But I did have it on before, so it's not too bad.
Yeah.
But it's been pretty hot in some sports recently.
Oh, it has been. It's been very hot.
It's been hot. We've got heaps of sports to talk about. We've got the usual big three of Aotearoa sport, at least for now. That will change not next week, the week after. But there's quite a bit going on in international sport, which we'll get to.
There's a lot.
But before that point, as we usually say, please go and if you're here watching on YouTube, subscribe, and then go to Spotify, go follow the podcast. Follow us also on TikTok and Instagram at CouchSide.network. Should be easy to find.
Plenty of reels there, mate.
Plenty of reels. So join us in the sports convo, mate. Come talk some shit. Not too much. Don't be a dick.
We haven't had any comments from last week's like we had last week. No,
we
the
haven't.
first point of order last week was me basically by myself debating, and they were commenting.
Yeah, which I mean, I can't speak for you, but I have no problem with doing that.
Oh no,
as long as it's in
civil.
the right. Let's call it flavor.
It's civil,
the right flavor, because that's what we're trying to create here. Sports conversation with the right flavor with the right flavor to it.
Be careful, we're not sponsored by Flavor.
Yeah, true. But speaking of right flavour, it seems like the women's Black Ferns, they had the right flavour going. And the first thing we're talking about into the Aotearoa local sport, which was the All Black Sevens and Black Fern Sevens in Singapore.
Yeah, well, I think the Black Fern Sevens just decided that violence was the word because I believe in the group stage they defeated France by about 60 points and then the UK by 50.
It was Great Britain, they beat 64-0. Crazy.
And France, they would have beat by 50.
Yeah, that's still mad.
110 points in 2 games against 2 established rugby nations is completely crazy. But this is a very stacked Black Fern side. You've got Georgia Miller, Caitlin Valcolo, and many more names.
Did we end up losing to Canada, though, at one point?
In the Singapore Sevens?
Yes.
I don't believe so.
I might have to check that. Anyway, we did win.
We did win. We have won. I think I saw something. We're undefeated in like 15 or 20 Singapore Sevens games, which means that's extended over several years.
Yeah, that's mad.
So I don't know if we did beat Canada.
We did beat Australia though, which is always good.
It was a big thumping from what I saw.
Yeah, it was.
Many people online calling it revenge for the whole social media controversy of those 2 Australian women. But one Australian woman creating a brand called Aroha, but not knowing the meaning of it.
Yeah, that was quite mad. I'll leave the conversation to
other
some
people. Like, this is a revenge for the Aroha controversy. It's like, that's great.
I mean, fair enough. But yeah, it's always good to go out and beat our first team all high tackle.
Oh,
so, or first team all suspended.
First team CTE.
First team CTE.
Well, giving CTE to the other team specifically.
Unfortunately, wasn't as successful for the men's team, which I still think was really young and somewhat. Would you call it a transition phase? I'd call it a transition phase.
Yeah, I think last year was more of a transition phase. I think they've got a lot more dudes in the team this year.
Yeah.
But they still finished third. Last year they were struggling to finish in the top 4.
Yeah, this is a good point.
Events. So finishing third, and they've already won one event this year as well. I think it was Dubai.
Yeah, they did because they won Dubai and then the girls won Dubai
and I'm not sure they also did top 4 at South Africa, but they've finished third at Singapore, only losing the Fiji in the semis, who
ended up winning
it all. And I think we lost our first game in the group to France.
We did. And France
recovery.
ended up in the final. I think they did. I think they did.
They could have.
But there you go. But no, I would say that. I mean, look, as I'm sure if you're a New Zealand rugby fan have noticed, we have very high standards in this country.
Sometimes too high.
Yeah, too
for
high.
our own good.
Yeah, but at the same time, I would say that even though the All Black Sevens would have wanted to win it, I think overall successful
It's a long
campaign.
season, you know.
And Black Ferns, I mean, come on. That's the most successful you can get. So,
It's almost cheating with the quality on the team they have.
True that.
But yeah, that's it for the sevens. I'm not sure when the next event is. I'm guessing it's Perth. So we move on to another local sport.
Yes, we do.
Auckland FC, and I've forgotten here to add in the OFC Pro League, the Of Course Pro League results. But they're currently in Papua New Guinea, and Auckland did beat PNG Hikari 2-0 the other
Very
day.
nice.
And South Melbourne and South
Is
Island
that
United
us
drew 3-0.
still undefeated in the Of Course Pro League?
We're still undefeated in the Of Course.
Oceania Football Confederation Pro League.
No, the Of Course Pro League. But Auckland
I'm glad
FC,
I've christened it that, but there you go.
unfortunately, lost 2-1 to Perth in Perth on Saturday night. I watched
a
the
bit of a
first half of
downer
this
at the
game.
moment.
Yeah, well, the first half, it's just not been great. So Ollie Sale got the start. Great.
Oh, they did give him the start?
Ends up getting injured about an hour in.
Remote. It's that hot.
Thank you. But as I was saying before the remote interrupted me, Auckland FC were 1-0 up at halftime. Ollie Sale started to go, injured after about an hour. He's going to be out for a while.
Shit.
So Michael Veld gets put back into the squad, and well, Perth scored twice in the last 15 minutes. Probably not much he could have done, but also players just not playing to their usual standards.
Yeah.
Other players injured. Hiroki Sakai back in the team, but still battling ankle issues. It's not great. Now they're in the table, they've got to switch on. I don't think there's going to be any additions to the team unless they panic about a goalkeeper.
Is there still a little? There's still quite a bit of season to go. To be fair, but yes, they do need to get their A into G. I guess
They
we call it.
definitely do. So we have to see if it happens anytime soon. They just need to make sure they're playing the right players in the right position. They're going to have to. They're going to have to put up with Michael Veld because there's no other options because Joe Knowles is also injured and hasn't played an A-League game ever. So they need to, stick with Michael Veld for now. But some people are saying Ollie Sale could be up for 6 to 12 months. It might be a bit shorter. Might be.
Was it what? Because I didn't see this game. What was the injury? Was it knee or?
I can't remember. I should have this written down. But
anyway, but that would be quite.
It's not great.
That would be quite devastating to depth if he's out for 6 to 12 months.
Oh yeah, especially and he was performing well, and then he was like, oh cool. So we've replaced Michael Veld. Not really. We've got a taste of what life could be without him. But look, I think he had a couple of bad games. Hopefully he picks it up.
I hope so.
And Auckland, I'm not entirely sure who they play next week. The Wellington Phoenix.
Let me check that for you while you're doing
You've also said the Knicks men had a bye.
Well, they didn't play.
They did.
When? And against who? Because I have not been able to find it anywhere.
Well, they did. There can't be buys in the A-League at the moment because there's an even amount of teams.
That's a very good point. So it would have been... that's why, because it was on a stupid Friday. It was on a stupid
Sports
Friday.
can be on a Friday, Dylan.
It was on a stupid Friday.
And
but
it was a draw.
It was a draw, yes. It was 2-2 against Melbourne City.
I know many Knicks fans are saying that it felt like a loss. I think they must have been up and then conceded quite at the end, unfortunately.
Yeah, rough.
They're 10th on the table currently and play Melbourne Victory this coming Friday. You managed to get that Friday game down. Auckland FC.
Yeah, no, I did.
Auckland FC, who are they playing next up, mate?
Auckland FC, they are going to be playing, if I go to the Classic Tribe, which does work for this, they're going to... big game. Sydney FC on Saturday at 5. But shout out to the Wellington Phoenix women, actually, who I mean, didn't, like I've said before, didn't have the best start to the year, but man, have they picked it up, especially with this game right here.
With the team they have, it's very unsurprising, even with a number of players injured and out for the rest of the season for other reasons. I mean, their star Nepalese striker Samba's out with an ACL. CJ Bott is pregnant, so she's out. And a whole bunch of other players were injured as well. Congratulations. But a 5-1 win over the Newcastle Jets with teenager Pia Volk scoring the first ever hat-trick in Phoenix women history.
Yep.
Young Kiwi teenager as well, so one to look out for the football ferns going forward.
I wonder if she's lining up, because I didn't put this here as well, but it was announced that at the end of this year for Auckland FC, Jessie Randall's going to go and play in Scotland for Dundee United.
She's going to Dundee United.
And I'm expecting maybe Pia Vlock, if she keeps going on a season like this, maybe a similar.
I think maybe
a similar move.
Maybe
a year or two away.
Maybe one more season in nurturing, I think. But I believe she's of Dutch heritage, so they'd give her a shoe in at one of the Dutch giants there. But also
think so.
would help her in getting an EU team as well. Obviously, Macy Fraser in the past has gone to the United States from the next women's team, so there's endless opportunities there.
True that. But I'm glad to see our Wellington Phoenix women doing well. Currently sitting second on the table.
Not bad at all. It is a very tight league, so we'll see how long that does last. As we move on to the Australian National Basketball League,
Let's go.
Dylan's specialty when it comes to the local sport, alongside the NZNBL, which surely isn't too far away.
Yeah, there's the NZNBL. They're actually getting some free agent signings rocking, including my cousin Cruz, who I've talked about on here a lot last year for the NZNBL. Congratulations, mate! Signed for the the New York Giants. I can't believe it. He changed to the NFL. No, he signed for the Nelson Giants.
Oh, well, Nelson Giants.
So he's going back. That's almost a homecoming.
Did he play there?
So he played for the Nelson Giants before he went over to university in the States.
Was he still in high school when he played for the Giants?
No, he was just out of it, just a year out. So, so how it works, at least that I know
he basically almost had a year off before he went to college.
Yeah, I think it would have been 6 months.
Oh, yeah, Makes sense.
Something along those lines. Because they start in their summer, which is June, July, August.
Yeah.
We end school in December. Sorry, November. October, November. But October,
December
November,
if you're young.
But yeah, anyway, besides the point, congratulations, Cruz, mate. Good on.
So are you changing your allegiance in the 5?
Oof.
Because what's the point now? Because you're from Auckland.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You're from Auckland, and your one cousin in the league is now Nelson.
I've still got friends within the Tauranga Whai community. But yeah, I can't lie. I'm changing my allegiance, mate.
To who?
It's going to be Nelson Giants. I'm going to stick with family. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to stick with family.
Can't.
If you are going to disrespect somebody for changing their allegiance because a very close family member is going to play for that team, you need to go sort your life out.
I guess that's fine. I'm going to guess it's fine as member of the council.
Anyway, classic us going as a member of the council. A member of the bandwagon council. Is that it? Are you a member?
I am a member.
Yeah.
Proud member as someone who started supporting the Blue Jays during the World Series.
Yes.
So,
and to be fair, I started supporting Leicester when they won the title.
If I can't get the conference the Blue Jays playing right now, I'm disappointed. Whatever whatever division they won.
Is it division or are you trying to get the league?
The league. Sorry, the league.
Even I know the league, mate. Come on.
Fucking
Come
Christ.
Come on, there's two.
I know it's
one
national.
out of two.
I know it's national and American, but I can tell you which one it is.
What do you want me to tell you?
They are a.
Come on. Come on.
Fuck. Shit.
We're staying on this now. We're staying on this.
They have to be National League, right? Because they're not American. American League.
American League.
Yep.
So the reason I know that is because the Dodgers.
The National League.
National League.
Right.
And also they beat the Yankees, who are in the American.
Oh, of course. They beat the Yankees on the way.
So there you go.
Well, the Yankees in the American League. Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, you can search that up too. But anyway, off track, ANBL, the Brisbane Bullets took the loss to the Adelaide 36ers, the top Adelaide 36ers, 107-74. The Perth Wildcats beat the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, 101-93. The Sydney Kings take a big win over the Illawarra Hawks, 102-104. The Breakers' big win over Melbourne United, 97-95, and the huge 32-point game from 18-year-old Kareem Lopez, who has the potential to be a banger player in the NBA.
Top 10 prospect in the upcoming draft this year.
Funnily enough, there was another guy that scored 32 points in an ANBL game that ended up getting drafted. That was LaMelo Ball. The difference is LaMelo Ball scored a triple-double while getting 32 points.
I saw...
and Kareem Lopez, extremely impressive, but didn't score a triple-double.
LaMelo Ball may have done all of that, but he couldn't beat the Breakers in that season.
This is a very good point.
In that one game I went to, I think he may have been with him in another game. But
that's a very good point. We'll carry on. The Cairns Taipans took, and much needed for the Breakers as well, took the win against the Tasmania Jack Jumpers, 96-93. And then the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix actually got a big win over the top of the table 36ers, 97-77. The Perth Wildcats took the win over the Illawarra Hawks, 106-99. And then in pretty much what is a must-win game for the Breakers, every single playoff spot from 1 to 5 is decided as the 6th spot that is there. Tasmania hold it, and unfortunately they will continue to hold it. They beat the Breakers 91-89. Like I said here, the Breakers were within at least a game Jack Jumpers until they lost, and they'll need some things to go their way to try and get that 6th spot with 3 rounds to play, including probably them winning out these next 3 games. And then the last game of the week, the Sydney Kings beat the Cairns Taipans 106-92. Tough for the Breakers, but boy, has it been a tough season anyway. So for us to be here, honestly, I'm proud of that. Big thing also with the Breakers Melbourne United game, the 4th ever Breakers retired jersey, the number 10 of Thomas Abercrombie, well frickin' deserved.
Very well deserved. I think it had to be him. You know, there's other players I could think of as well, but yeah.
Yep, well frickin' deserved. What was awesome as well is that guys that played with him that were on Melbourne United or played for the Breakers, and guys from our Breakers squad ended up going out and doing a haka for him as well, which is some classic Aotearoa New Zealand, which I think is a great way to end off the Aotearoa New Zealand sport and get into some international sport. And I'm going to keep the basketball conversation going.
He's on a roll.
Because we're going to go straight.
He's on a dribble, lads.
We're going to go straight into the NBA Weekly recap. First of all, nothing has changed at the top of the standings, at least, of the East and West. Detroit are still at the top, and they're now 36-12 after beating the Brooklyn Nets by 53 points.
Yikes.
53 points. And you told me, I didn't know this, outside of Jalen Duren.
Yeah.
Or sorry, I must say his name because I heard it on a TikTok one time, but it's the Sim God. Jalen Duren. Scoring 21 points and 10 rebounds, which he's been doing the entire season. Nobody else on the Pistons scored over 20 points.
Yeah, and the only player who came, one of the players who came close for 18 points is a guy on a 2-way contract who I'd never heard of. So,
and also, I think Cade Cunningham scored 18 in that game as well.
I'll find the name of the player.
But anyway, I'll carry on with the recap while you're there. There were some big games this week as well. Speaking of the Pistons, they got a big win this past week over the Nuggets, 109-107. The Cavs got a big win over the Lakers, 129-99. The Knicks beat your Raptors, 119-92. They have now second, the Celtics third, and the Raptors are fourth.
Fourth, baby.
The Spurs beat the Rockets in a little battle of Texas, 111-99. They're looking good, man. And the Wolves got a big win over the Thunder, 123-101. And I'm going to shout out my Warriors real quick. The Pistons are a theme here because we actually played the Pistons. Steph Curry went out injured in the 3rd quarter, and we still put up a fight to only lose by 5. But that Pistons team is no joke. And I'm going to carry on the conversation about the Pistons after this.
Okay.
But and there was also a trade. So this Thursday/Friday here in New Zealand, I'm pretty sure is the trade deadline day. But there has been a trade. DeAndre Hunter has gone from the Cavs to the Kings. Dario Saric and 2 second-round picks from the Kings have gone to the Bulls. And Dennis Schroeder and Keon Ellis from the Kings have gone to the Cavs.
Great pickup for the Cavs.
And I just want to say, if you want to know what the reality of playing professional sports is like, Dennis Schroeder has gone traded for, and don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure it's the 8th time in his career, and he's on his 11th different team. That is the actual reality of being a professional basketball player.
I think
that
the most
is a crazy amount of moving.
The most impressive thing about Dennis Schroeder is the fact that he saved his hairline. Have you seen those before and after pics?
Yep, I have.
Yeah, amazing.
Even LeBron can't do it.
No, and LeBron's the go, you know.
Oh man, but also some big news that came out actually today as of recording. The All-Star reserves got announced. So for the East,
from Toronto, Canada. Well, not really.
Goudier,
Barnier, the Spectrum,
Scotty Barnes.
Second All-Star selection for him.
Well deserved. And once again, the Sim guard, Jalen Duren, is well deserved. First debut selection. Speaking of debut selections, another Jalen, well deserved. Jalen Johnson of the Atlanta Hawks. There's a reason they traded Trae Young away to the Wizards. It's because of this guy. He gets his first appearance. Donovan Mitchell, and then a well deserved and well underrated
former Toronto Raptor legend, NBA champion
Norman Powell, now playing for the Miami Heat.
That's crazy. Didn't realize he had motion like that.
Well deserved, scoring somewhere in the realm of 24, 25 points per game for the Heat.
I mean, when Jimmy Butler left, someone was going to have to pick up the slack.
True that. man, that's a deserved selection there. Pascal Siakam of
Another
the Pacers.
former This is just Toronto Raptor land, you know.
And then Mr. Zesty himself, Carl Anthony Towns.
Hey.
Hey, I'm just repeating what I'm seeing on TikTok.
But you wouldn't repeat everything you see on TikTok, would you?
That is fair.
Yeah.
That is the Eastern Reserves. For the West, a well-deserved selection from the Portland Trailblazers, a debut for Denny Avdia. Devin Booker, well-deserved. Kevin Durant, well-deserved. Anthony Edwards, well-deserved. Chet Holmgren, well-deserved. LeBron is LeBron. LeBron James gets in. And a much-awaited, shouldn't have taken this long, debut selection for Jamal Murray.
I assumed he had 3 or 4 All-Star appearances by now.
Nope.
When they said All-Star debut, Jamal Murray, I'm like, sorry? The same guy who's been like the key number 2 to Jokic for how many years and has been very, very good.
Yep.
Very, very good. Is averaging a shit ton amount of points right now.
Yeah, it's crazy that that's his first time, but that's I'm going to be honest. I think that's a pretty good selection of reserves there for the East and the West. I think the game itself is working as a USA versus World.
Yeah, it's just like 2 USA teams and then a World team, and they all play each other once and like a free.
That's right.
We'll have to explain it when the All-Star game is on,
which will be very soon. It'll be about 2 weeks away.
We're gonna have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
But also the player on the Pistons, I was thinking about who scored 18 points with 1 assist and 4 rebounds, is none other than 2-way contract point guard.
Is it Henke?
Denise Jenkins.
Oh, Jenkins. Okay.
Dennis Jenkins.
Yeah, man.
An undrafted player from the 2024 draft. He attended at 4 different colleges.
Yeah.
And I don't even know half of these. The first one was the Pacific Tigers.
Oh yeah, Pacific University.
Then Odessa College, junior college.
Yep.
Then he went to Iona, which I know of Iona.
Yep.
And I don't know if he was a part of their magical run, but he did go to St. John's. I
said this before, man. The Pistons are no joke. Now, I did say to you, because I was like, they are no joke, and they should be one of the favorites to win the title. But I haven't, in the game at least against the Warriors, I didn't see the championship DNA yet. And what I mean by that is that I think, like, and this is a natural human thing to do, you kind of almost play down to your opponent a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I'm not saying the Pistons have done this in every game, because look what they did to the Nets. But they did it in the game against the Warriors. And I hate saying that about my Warriors, but it's facts when we're comparing to the Pistons. But man, have they got all the pieces to do it. Cade Cunningham is a stud. Jalen Duren could honestly be, if you look at him, undersized center, massive dude, athletic as frick. What Detroit Pistons center does that remind you of?
The Fro.
The Fro, Mr. Ben
Another
Wallace.
Undersized.
And he is actually an inch taller than Ben Wallace.
Wow.
So I think Jalen Duren has that type of potential.
Ben Wallace,
defensively, freaking awesome.
As a reminder to the general public, won 4 straight Defensive Player of the Years.
He did.
So,
so I'm not sure if Jalen Duren will do that when you've got Wemby. When you've got Wemby, who is going to average around 3 to 4 blocks a game for sure.
Well, that's just default by height.
Yeah, exactly. But you get my point, right?
They should have a statistic where they work.
But Jalen Duren's a stud.
A statistic where it works out like how many blocks you should be averaging based on your height alone.
Yeah.
So they could actually figure out who's actually the most effective blocker for that height.
Yeah.
I don't know how you'd do that.
Yeah.
But it'd probably make players like Wemby look much worse because they're so much taller.
The one thing the Pistons don't have... Oh, actually, let me just say this. The Pistons defense also is that classic Pistons defense from then too. It's crazy. Asar Thompson... man, his defense is insane. If he can get a little bit of an offensive game, same as his brother Amen, if they can both if they can both get offensive games to get a 3-point shot, what they'll do for the Rockets, Amen with the Rockets, and what Asar will do with the Pistons, I cannot wait, to be honest. As long as they play bad against the Warriors.
This guy over here.
But man, the one thing that they do miss, they've got Duncan Robinson, so they've got the shooting there. They do miss a little bit of shooting. They could improve there. But at the same time, man, they've got pieces there, dude. Isaiah Stewart off the bench you have Duren come off. And then you've got Isaiah Stewart, who's a centre that can guard point guards.
He's very good.
Crazy. They've got a Ron Holland coming off the bench. Awesome. Tobias Harris there as the, as the veteran presence. He's been great. Man, they've got a team there. That team, if that team does not end up in the conference finals, if not the finals, I'd be very, very surprised. But I think I could see that Pistons team 3 years down the line winning the title if they can keep it together.
It might just be the case of the multitude of teams who have topped their conferences in recent years, but have not really had a chance in the playoffs because they're still getting there as a
exactly
playoffs team.
I thought the Thunder was going to be that team last year. Turns out they were not.
They blew everyone out the water, and I think we're going to do the same thing this season.
Yeah,
But I'm more thinking like the Cavs last year or the Nuggets before they won their first title. With Jokic, those, maybe not the same, but like the Atlanta Hawks back in 2015.
And also I'll talk about this more at the trade deadline, but I'll end it here as well. And I'm going to pose a question. So please comment if you get to this point and you are listening. Giannis, there seems some sweepstakes here in terms of trades. It does seem like my Warriors are the favourites to trade for him. I'm not sure if that is going to work out because I wouldn't want to give away our whole future for that. But let me know what you actually comment. What team you think he's going to? What the trade is going to look like?
He's clearly going to go to Toronto. I'm kidding. It probably
bro. You have to take away shooters from Toronto, and you still need some more shooting there.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. It'd be like give up an all-star and Scotty Barnes, or give up someone who also could be an all-star and Brandon Ingram. Or give up the only shooting you have.
I think you've got something working. You're in the top 4 right now.
I don't think we need a Giannis. But I think there are a lot of teams who could use a Giannis.
But please comment. Please comment what you think the trade would be and where he's going to go to. Who you got? I'll talk about more of this next week as we get closer to the trade deadline.
I don't know if this trade works anymore because the main piece...
the trade deadline's over.
I don't think this trade works anymore because the main piece that would have been around is now supposed to be traded, but I don't think it's happened yet. But I was pretty high on him maybe going to Atlanta.
Oh, yes. You mean in terms of Trae Young to the Bucks and there?
But I don't know if they can do that without Trae Young on the team.
Probably can't. And I think Atlanta clearly have put a sign of, we've got a young team to build around. Let's keep it this way for the year. And let's get our draft picks and see what happens.
Exactly. And there's always a slight chance the Spurs go in for him. I know they might have to give up someone they don't want to, but I think long term it could be even short term.
I was about to say short. I'm not sure long term it's good. Short term, yes.
Short term, excellent, because you pair Wemby with Giannis. You'll keep one of your 2 young guards. You still have other players in the Spurs organization. Yeah. But if the Warriors pull it off, sure thing. I think everyone's going to hate it because it's the Warriors trading for one of the top players.
I still don't think that makes us a title contender. No, I'm just going to put that out there.
Look, watch him go
we need more than that.
Watch him go to the Lakers for Roy Hachimura and a first-round pick.
He better not, man.
Or who else is on that team? Like Dalton Connect and... who else is a Lakers player?
I am going to hope...
DeAndre Ayton.
I am going to hope that the that the Bucks front office is a little bit smarter than that.
Then they'll want to trade with the Thunder.
That is not that short term for the Thunder though. Great. Long term, no.
Because they could get AJ Mitchell and
it's interesting.
Hardenstein and
it's interesting sweepstakes
and a lot of firsts.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll talk about it next week after the trade deadline is done.
I think it goes to the Thunder because I don't think the Thunder have anything to lose, and they probably a lot of people say guarantee 2 more championships by getting Giannis. In my opinion, genuinely, you could look at it like that. Because Giannis is obviously he's on the other side of he's in his 30s now, but we've seen what LeBron's done. He's 40.
You are right.
He could be. He could even if he does half of what LeBron has done longevity-wise. He's got another 3 seasons left in him.
The only thing I worry about with the Thunder is how systematically it works.
That is true.
Because Shea, although can shoot the lights out from 3, is a drive inside, draw foul player. Yeah. Giannis is a drive inside player. You've got Chet Holmgren, who, yes, can shoot the 3 consistently, so you do have that there. Hartenstein is an inside player. He'd probably have to end up coming off the bench, to be honest.
You'd assume, yeah.
And then who else do you have starting there? Dort can shoot, but not
Dortmund
that
maybe
guy.
be involved in the trade.
Yeah. Not that guy, but who is the starting guard at the moment? And Jalen Williams can shoot the three. So, systematically we'd have to see, but we'll see what happens.
It obviously makes a little bit of a mockery of the NBA if the best team in the league is able to trade for one of the best players in the league, despite having a whole lot of, assets. But I think that's just how the Thunder built that team.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's
did it
just
and no
them
one else did it.
That's them doing what
Just
what
trading
they thought
for
was
every
best,
single pick.
and they have developed those players. You can't argue that. You can't argue.
You cannot argue that they built a winning formula, because the team last year and the team this year is amazing, and they have an opportunity to add Giannis.
We'll see what happens, but
Giannis.
So if those,
I won't say that again.
Oh man, but we'll see what happens. We'll talk about it. I mean, the trade deadline, our next episode will be done, but we will talk through those. But let's move into a little bit of your forte, Premier League, mate. Some other football. I will say for my Liverpool fans, because I know a lot of them, big win for you guys. But supposedly it's covering paper over the cracks.
Oh, for sure.
But anyway, carry on with the results there, mate.
So in the Premier League this week, Arsenal on top of the Premier League needed to keep up the form against Leeds, and they did that away from home, beating them 4-0. Bournemouth put the sword to Wolves, who are still struggling. A 2-0 win away from home for them. Everton scored very late away at Brighton to rescue a 1-1 draw. Chelsea, despite a whole bunch of West Ham taking the lead and Adama Traore just yeeting Cucurella out of play. João Pedro going up to confront Adama Traore, realizing who Adama Traore is, and then immediately backing away. A 3-2 win for Chelsea. Liverpool, a massive win against Newcastle, 4-1. 2 goals to Ekitike, a goal to Wirtz, a goal to Kanate. Much needed win for them. Brentford beat Aston Villa 1-0, which is good for Arsenal, as Villa were only about 3 points behind them. Man United, a late 3-2 win over Fulham. They were 2-0 up, so they will be happy with that. Nottingham Forest and Crystal Palace play out a 1-1 draw. Tottenham Hotspur and Man City play out a 2-2 draw.
I watched that game this morning. Man City went into the half 2-0, and I thought, man, what are Spurs going to do? Step up, Dominic Solanke.
Goat. Man City now find themselves a little bit further off the pace than Arsenal. I'll talk about that in a bit. Sunderland, Burnley. Oh God, Simon.
Sunderland and Burnley play when this is released
at 9 a.m. an hour after this comes out. So you've got half an hour if you watch this from 8 o'clock onwards, so go watch it. Big games in the next match day. Man United host Tottenham on Sunday at 1:30, and Liverpool host Man City on Monday at 5:30, which will have massive implications for the title race. With 14 games to go, Arsenal lead Man City by 6 points with a bit of goal difference, and Aston Villa are just a point behind Man City as well. Man United are fourth, a point ahead of Chelsea, who are fifth. Chelsea are a point ahead over Liverpool, who have a 3-point gap on seventh, which is Brentford at the moment.
Shout out to Brentford.
Shout out to them, but also shout out to Fulham and Everton, who are 8th and 9th, tied on points and goal difference, with Fulham ahead on goals 4. Newcastle round out the top 10, but they level on points with Sunderland and Bournemouth, and they're only 2 points in front of 13th place Brighton. Wolves and Burnley very much still the bottom 2. West Ham is 6 points off both Forest and Leeds. As we move on to the drama in the Champions League.
This was crazy.
And this is going to go down as a famous Champions League moment. Benfica goalkeeper Anatoly Trubin headed in. A goalkeeper came up for a corner in the 98th minute to put them 4-2 up at home over Real Madrid.
Crazy.
But this was because they're already leading, they're already winning, but they needed one more goal as they're behind Marseille on goal difference. Marseille were in 24th, the last playoff place in the Champions League. Benfica were in 25th. This goal took them ahead at that point in time, taking Marseille out of the playoffs and putting Benfica in. It also saw Real Madrid miss out on the top 8. Arsenal, Bayern Munich, Liverpool, Spurs, Barcelona, Chelsea, Sporting Club de Portugal, and not Real Madrid. That is Man City in the top 8. I record out of my head. To skip the playoff round and go straight to the round of 16. Funnily enough, Real Madrid and Benfica will meet again in the playoff round due to how it worked, 9th facing 24th. But the playoff round, which doesn't start until February 18th, will have the following matchups: Galatasaray versus Juventus, Dortmund versus Atalanta. Say it.
Well, do you mean the which one?
Say it.
You mean the Newcastle one?
No. What do we call this?
The Monaco versus PSG.
What do we call that, Dylan?
Is that a little... I can't even say French classic because it's not a French classic. Monaco's in France, but it's not
in the
France.
French league. I would just say a French classic, but it's Monaco. Monaco versus PSG. But like I said earlier, Benfica, Real Madrid, cut a bag.
They made it.
They made it.
Good
versus
on.
Newcastle. Now, list some teams who didn't. They faced Newcastle, Olympiacos versus Leverkusen.
Come on, the work self.
Bodo Glimt versus Inter, and Club Brugge versus Atletico Madrid. Notable teams to miss out include Marseille, PSV, Athletic Bilbao.
Don't get me started.
Napoli, Ajax, Eintracht Frankfurt, and a team who didn't even win a single game, Villarreal.
Crazy.
The Europa League is also done with its group stage with Lyon, Aston Villa, Midtjylland, Real Betis, Porto, Braga, SC Freiburg, and Roma finishing in the top 8.
Now, we're going to stop right here because I want to tell a story about this next thing we're going to talk about. So we're going to preview the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Which will play out on Monday.
Yeah.
This coming Monday here in New Zealand.
I've got shit in work on Monday.
It'll be Sunday. It'll be Sunday overseas. But I said why don't we just do a Super Bowl preview in this one? My man to my left. If you're looking at the screen, I think it's your right.
My man.
Mr. Simon Cooper has
Government name.
Has popped off in the notes.
I wrote a novel.
And this guy wrote, like he said, a novel. So this is how it's going to work. I'm going to let him...
It's going to go very quickly,
I'm going to let him read this out.
It's going to go off very quickly.
And I'm going to talk afterwards, because if you don't think we're dedicated to the content, you're about to find out how dedicated we are to the content.
I'm so dedicated to this. For context, I have family I haven't seen in 2 years over at my house right now, and I'm recording the podcast. Dylan doesn't know. Hello to my family.
Why didn't you tell me that anyway?
No, because I want to record the podcast. I'll see you guys at 8:30.
Fucking good on,
because
brother.
I'm still going to get Nando's after this.
Well, thank you very much. But get into this, and I'm going to talk after you're done.
Cool. So, Super Bowl 60 next Monday at 12:30 p.m. will be played at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, the home of the San Francisco 49ers. And if all goes correctly, a place I may be visiting later this year.
Let's go.
If you care about this, the halftime show is Bad Bunny, so it will be pretty good. The Seattle Seahawks will face the New England Patriots, two teams who have tasted success a lot in the last 2 decades compared to a lot of other teams in the NFL, like my Minnesota Vikings and his Pittsburgh Steelers.
Shut up.
Hey, I took down my own team as well.
I know.
First, we'll look at the Seattle Seahawks. Since 2010, they've only missed the playoffs in 5 seasons, with the last 2 of those being the 2 previous seasons, even though in both of those seasons they both finished over .500 win percentage, which usually means you're good, but you got screwed over by other teams in the other divisions. At the same time, in this 15-year period, they've won the NFC Championship 3 times in 2013, 2014, and obviously this year, this season in 2025. Plus a Super Bowl back in 2013. Pete Carroll had been the coach for most of that success, but Mike McDonald has been in charge since the 2014 season. 2024 season, sorry. This team is now led by Sam Darnold, who is a Pro Bowler, and several other 2026 Pro Bowlers, including one of the most best players to watch in the game right now, wide receiver Jackson Smith-Njigba, defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence, and defensive tackle Leonard Williams, cornerback Devin Witherspoon, and even their return specialist, Rashid Shaheed, great name, is a Pro Bowler. In the regular season, Jalen Smith-Njigba led the league in pass receiving yards with 1,793 and is the only Seahawk or Patriot to be named first team All-Pro, different to the Pro Bowl. It's more elusive. That's both of the conferences combined. Multiple different sources do an All-Pro. He was the only Seahawk or Patriot to be starting in the All-Pro team. I'll talk about the second All-Pros in a bit. Now, for their main man at quarterback, Sam Darnold. At 28, he makes his first Super Bowl as a starter. He backed up Brock Purdy
with
the 49ers a few years ago. Darnold had a very turbulent start to his career. He was picked 3rd by one of the worst teams to be drafted by, the New York Jets, back in 2018. After 3 seasons at the Jets, he spent 2 at the Panthers, where he suffered injuries and was a backup at times, but also had a really good run in that last season where he went 4-2. He then went to the 49ers to be their backup. Initially the Trey Lance, but it ended up being Brock Purdy. And he obviously got to a Super Bowl, although I think Purdy was injured. That's why it was Lance starting ahead of him originally. After that, he went to the Vikings, where it was going to be more of the same. They just drafted J.J. McCarthy, and Sam Darnold was looking, to be battling for a starting role. J.J. McCarthy ends up getting injured in preseason, is ruled out for the entire year. Sam Darnold proceeds to end up starting the entire season, going 14-3, passing for 35 touchdowns and just 12 interceptions, and 4,319 passing yards. Genuinely out of nowhere, as the Vikings made the playoffs, but did lose to the Rams in the wild card. He even left the Vikings as he only signed for a year to join the Seahawks, who were looking for a big quarterback after letting Geno Smith leave and having previously had Russell Wilson back in their Super Bowl days. And this year he threw 25 touchdowns and 14 interceptions and broke 4,000 passing yards again. As we said, those Seahawks went 14-3. They were the best team in the NFC, skipped the wild card, and went to the divisional where they absolutely destroyed the 49ers 41-6 and edged the Rams 31-27 to make their first Super Bowl since 2014, the one where they just didn't run the ball and could have won it. They are seen as the clear favorites going into their fourth Super Bowl appearance, but they go up against a team who beat them in that last Super Bowl appearance, the one and only New England Patriots. And we don't really need to say anything about them since 2010. They've been one of the most dominant teams in the NFL, one of the most dominant teams in sports.
Yep.
They were led by quarterback Tom Brady and coach Bill Belichick and had a multitude of other stars.
And should be first ballot Hall of Famer Bill Belichick. What are we doing?
No, I don't understand why people weren't voting for him. They won 3 Super Bowls in 2014, 16, and 18 to go along with the 3 they won in the 2000s. The Patriots only missed their first playoffs since 2010 in 2020 after Brady had left the team. And then after the season after, they missed the playoffs for 3 straight years. And in the last 2 seasons, they went 4-13, including last season, which makes this Super Bowl run
mad.
Insane. However, this season, Mike Vrabel took charge. You talked about him last week, about he was really unjustly fired from the Titans, wasn't given the right opportunities there.
He literally took them to a conference championship.
Yeah.
He had Derrick Henry in his prime, don't get me wrong. But what are you doing getting... Anyway, besides...
So this is the norm for Mike Vrabel, taking teams who are maybe undervalued into these positions. The Patriots have exploded into one of the AFC's best teams, led by sophomore Drake May, and the team includes 2026 Pro Bowler cornerback Christian Gonzalez. Drake May led the league in passer rating this season with 113.5, making him one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league. And one of the front runners for MVP, although we are pretty certain that's going to go to Matthew Stafford of the LA Rams instead. Despite this 14-3 record, the Patriots have been named as one of the weakest teams to ever qualify for a Super Bowl, with most of the criticism based on the weak scheduling leading up to the Super Bowl. Now, this was explained to me earlier today thanks to Reddit, so I'm just regurgitating this. Due to how the NFL scheduling works, because it's very complicated.
It's very complicated.
Where there's 32 teams and you only play 17 games and you just don't play. It's confusing. Teams play 4 games against a game. Sorry. Teams will play 4 games against all the teams in a division in their own conference, 4 games against all the teams in another division in the other conference, 6 games against all the teams in their conference, 3 home and 3 away, and then 3 games against teams based on the same place they finished in their division the previous year. So, for context,
that's freaking confusing as frick,
but it also gives a massive advantage if you're a team who got very, very good in the offseason or had been very much hindered by injuries to previous season and finished lower. Because in the case of the Patriots, they finished 4th in their division last year. And I'll explain why that helped in their schedule very soon. The Patriots division themselves included the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets, who were both fairly poor this season. The Jets more than the Dolphins, and the Patriots defeated them both times. The other AFC conference they faced was one you're very familiar with, the AFC North, which, despite containing the Steelers, the Ravens, and the Bengals, was one of the most underperforming conferences in the season. All of those teams massively underperformed except the Steelers. The Ravens didn't make the playoffs. The Bengals had Joe Burrow injury issues. And so the Patriots...
And the Browns are the Browns.
Yeah, the Patriots only lost to the Steelers once. The NFC conference they faced was the NFC South, probably the worst division in the NFL, containing no team which had over a 500 winning record. The Panthers, the Buccaneers, the Falcons, and the Saints. The Patriots were 4th last year, so they got to face fellow 2024 4th-place teams, the Las Vegas Raiders, the Tennessee Titans, and the New York Giants, who were all still incredibly bad, although they did lose to the Raiders, and the other regular season game they lost was to their division rivals, the Buffalo Bills.
Yep.
But we can't obviously criticize them too much for this record.
For
the schedule.
Yeah, I'll just for a tiny bit here.
Interject.
You can't. I get that. Yes, it's an easy schedule, but at the same time, they were 4-13 last year. Why don't we start giving? And I get it when you especially for a team like the Patriots, who dominated everybody. Yeah. But you can't not give them credit for building a team that was 4-13 to winning 14 games the next year. That is not luck. Yes, draw is draw, but building a team from 4-13 to 14-3 is not luck. It is smart as fuck moves, but it is getting players you know can play the role. I get the easy schedule thing, but we've got to give credit where credit is due.
It does have to be brought up, though.
Yes.
After going 14-3, they snagged the 2nd seed in the NFC, beating the 6th seed Chargers. AFC, sorry. The 6th seed LA Chargers in the wildcard round 16-3, where the Chargers were missing 2 key offensive line starters. And the divisional, they defeated the 15th seed Houston Texans, 28-16. CJ Stroud decided to throw how many interceptions in that game? The Texans were missing their Pro Bowler wide receiver, the first choice wide receiver, and had another key pass catcher injured in the first quarter in that game, which didn't help alongside CJ Stroud doing his thing. The AFC Championship game, they played the number 1 seed Denver Broncos, which would have been excellent if their starting quarterback Bo Nix had not been injured in the previous game and would be out due to an ankle injury. With the quarterback who did start, hadn't started since 2023,
Stidham,
and has a starting record of 1-3. In a game dominated by Snow in the second half, the Patriots granted a 10-7 win. However, despite weak on paper record, that does not undermine how good Drake May has been. 2nd team All-Pro in 2025, alongside teammate punt returner Marcus Jones and Seattle players defensive tackle Leonard Williams and cornerback Devin Witherspoon. Selected third in 2024 after fellow quarterbacks Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels, May managed to throw 15 touchdowns and 10 interceptions for 2,276 passing yards and an 88.1 passer rating last season, his first season in the league after and he went 3-9 with the Patriots. So very good considering that record and that team. This season, he threw for 31 touchdowns, only 8 interceptions, and 4,394 passing yards. Basically, doubling the amount of touchdowns, almost cutting the amount of interceptions in half, and almost doubling the amount of passing yards. As I mentioned earlier, had a league best 113.5 passer rating. Clearly one of the league's best quarterbacks already. A lot of Patriots' hopes will be on May. If he has a blinder, then anything can happen.
Now let's talk about the game, baby.
Let's talk about the game.
But before we do that, clicks. Very well done, sir, on that one.
Thank you, Reddit.
That's a lot.
Thank you,
Shout
Reddit.
out to Reddit. Let's talk about the game. To me, Seahawks got to be favourites.
Yeah, they're my favourite for a 2, but I would not be upset at the Patriots.
Neither.
I like Drake May as a quarterback. I also like the story of a team drastically changing it around.
Yeah.
Although it's a little bit weird that it's the Patriots because they were good for so long.
It is. It is a little bit weird, but clearly we're finding out that the Patriots were good not just because of their quarterback, not just because of their defenses, not just because of their coach, but because it actually starts from the freaking top.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's like I said, you've got to give that credit where that credit is due. But to me, the Seahawks are the favourites. The reason the Seahawks will lose is that Sam Darnold has a game where he doesn't take care of the ball and commits a lot of turnovers, which he really has not done this entire year.
And I don't think the Patriots defense is going to be the defense which does it.
Yeah, but their defense is legit.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like you said, Christian Gonzalez at cornerback is a Pro Bowler. I think his name is Kalavon Chason.
Banger.
Yeah, he's had a pretty much was the breakout year. He got drafted first round by the Jags, wasn't very good at the Jags, signs for the Patriots, has something like an 11-12 sack season, somewhere along those lines. Like that defense is freaking solid. Where I think, whereas, and then on the other side, you've got two elite units. You've got the offense of the offense of Seahawks is elite anyway.
Yeah.
But you've got the elite offense of the Patriots, led by your boy, Drake May.
Yeah.
And then you've got the elite Seattle Seahawks defense, which, and I said this last week, the Seattle team is so similar to the 2013-2014 Legion of Boom teams. It's not even funny.
No.
So I think the Seahawks have to be the favorites going into it.
I think they are.
The keys for me for the Seahawks, they have to get their run game going against their Patriots defense. That's how they win games.
Yep.
Sam Darnold can't commit turnovers.
No.
And the defense has to do I'm going to say, because that Patriots offense is pretty bloody good, they have to do a solid job on the Drake May offense. If the Patriots are going to win, I think their defense has to have a blinder.
And I also think if Drake May doesn't play well, then there's almost little to no chance.
Yeah.
The defense can only do so much if your quarterback can't put the ball up the pitch, as we saw with CJ Stroud against the Patriots.
Yep. So you're absolutely right. But I think that defense has to have a blinder.
It does.
And I think that the offense of the Patriots has to beat the Seattle Seahawks defense.
And that's a very
you
hard
get
job.
what I mean. But man, it's gonna be a great game.
Great game regardless, because we're going to see some great football even if it's a dominant win.
Yeah. Very true.
And I'd be very happy to see Sam Darnold become a Super Bowl winner, especially the first quarterback from that 2018 draft to potentially win a Super Bowl with all the amount of talent drafted around him, like Baker Mayfield, Lamar Jackson,
Josh Allen,
Josh Rosen.
Nah. But yeah, I get your point. But yeah, man, to me, like I said, Seahawks are going to, I think the Seahawks have to be the favorites. I think the Seahawks are going to win.
I think so too, but I would love either team to win.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's two great stories.
Very good.
It's two great stories.
The Seahawks coming back, and I think Seahawks are a team you can I think neutrally you can always like them a bit, because like Seattle's one because it's like a market where they don't have a team in every sports league now. Yeah. Seattle's like slightly smaller market.
They should have the Supersonics back as a basketball guy. They should have Supersonics. They
probably will sooner rather than later. They have an ice hockey team now, obviously.
They do.
They do have the baseball team, the Mariners, who are kind of famous for never making a World Series.
Yep.
But look, I think Seattle's just one of those likable markets, and just Seahawks, cool name, they're playing a cool stadium.
Their fan base is crazy.
They're crazy. So it's not too far away from Santa Clara. So it's far away, but it's on the coast.
If you think, the West Coast
compared
Seattle,
to where
Washington, the state of Washington, not Washington DC, is the closest to Canada of the West Coast. You go Washington, Oregon, California. You find Santa Clara,
and compared to where
California.
the Patriots are from, and
nope, they're going all the way,
coast to coast, baby.
Going coast to coast. But it's going to be a great game, man. But,
I can't wait.
Yeah, but if the Patriots are going to win, for the Patriots fans out there, I think the Patriots offense and special teams as well has to beat the Seattle Seahawks special teams and defense, and their Patriots defense has to have a blinder. And if the Seahawks are going to win, run game's got to be great. Sam Darnold can't commit turnovers and play the way that he's been playing, and the Seattle defense has to beat the Patriots offense as well. So special teams has to beat the Patriots special teams. But it's going to be a great game that I hope I will get to watch. But let's move on to, we call it the segment, but anytime there is wrestling on, there is WWE, there is AEW, we're going to talk about it. So
we sure are, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. So what I might do, because I know you've put stuff in here, are you all right if I run through the results and then I get you to go?
If you just do like the verbatim who won each one without going to it? Yeah.
I can do that. Sweet as. Let's rock and roll.
Go for it, DC.
So for the big, for at least for me, for me and Simon, the WWE fans, Royal Rumble pay-per-view is quite significant, mainly because of the Royal Rumble match, which we will get into which we'll get into straight away, because the Women's Royal Rumble was the one that was first, in which Liv Morgan came out the winner after eliminating, and I didn't realize she was returning, but it was the returning Tiffany Stratton.
Yep.
Do you want me to go through some of the big performances as well? Do you want to do that later?
We'll just go over all the results, and then we'll come back.
But that was the result of the women's what's it called? Royal Rumble. Then what's it called? Then we go into Gunther versus, who's the career killer now, versus AJ Styles for his career, and Gunther does end AJ Styles' career to carry on the Mystique. Supposedly. But anyway, Drew McIntyre retained his WWE Championship against Sami Zayn, and in the Men's Royal Rumble, fingers up.
Nah.
I know you're not, but I don't care, because I know you got opinions, but I'm doing it anyway for the lols. Fingers up. The OTC, Roman Reigns returns and wins the Royal Rumble. Let's get into opinions, because I know this guy has got heaps. I can't wait to hear them.
Let's get opinionated,
but
guys.
let's go the women's Royal Rumble, because I've got my opinions on this too. Because I thought, I'll be honest, you may think this was an average match. I actually think this was great.
No, I was entertained by this. So Liv Morgan wins the Women's Rumble after eliminating returning Tiffany Stratton, who had been injured since November. Sol Rooker from NXT lasted 50 minutes and finished third in a great first showing in the Royal Rumble for her. Very similar to Roxanne's hour-long stint in the Rumble last year.
You're starting to see the pattern of women's Royal Rumbles, having that one, we'll call it rookie, but one NXT person stay in for a long time until the top three and then lose it. But man, I'll tell you what, that Soul Snatcher, Sol Rooker's finisher is disgusting.
I remember the first time
disgusting.
I was watching, it was
good, disgustingly good.
It was John Cena's retirement match show, and she was on it in a tag team. Well, I forgot what type of match it was, but I was watching it with my mate Stanley, and he'd never seen a Soul Snatcher before.
Yeah.
He genuinely were like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, it was like, and even when we watched, because I was at Stanley and his and Amy's house today, down the line.
Good on.
We watched it there, and he was like, every time she put it, he's like, what the fuck's going on?
Bro, I'm by the way, this pretty much entire Royal Rumble pay-per-view, I watched / listened to while I was at the gym working out.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I had it playing in my headphones. I watched it through. Man, any time the Soul Snatcher came up, it was a moment, because how disgustingly good that
It's such a great move.
It's like, and she's like...
It's like a backflip RKO almost.
Pretty much. She's like Jeff Hardy and Lita combined into one.
Very similar,
it's pretty, and has the same look and vibe as well. So, oh man, I loved it. I thought, like I said, I actually thought this was a great match.
I thought it was great. Liv entered 14th and eliminated 3 people, including her Judgment Day stablemate Raquel Rodriguez, who has been feuding with current Women's World Champion Stephanie Becker. Does this potentially lead to a split in the Judgment Day? Probably, because they've been together in this kind of format for how long? I think they've built up Raquel very well in recent years, and so
they've built up Roxanne Perez very well as well.
And they have the likes of both Finn and JD and Dominic all involved, so they have to figure out how it gets split up, who turns face, who stays heel at the Judgment Day. Still even a thing. Also, accidental elimination. Charlotte Flair accidentally eliminated... Well, that wasn't accidental, Liv on Raquel. But Charlotte Flair accidentally eliminated her tag partner, Alexa Bliss. Maybe hinting towards a split between those two as well.
That would be an elite WrestleMania match, by the way.
Oh, it would be. It'd be excellent. And I think it could be. Lash Legend had 5 eliminations.
Shout out to Lash, dude.
Apart from... five eliminations. Apart from Sol Rooker, fellow NXT wrestlers Lola Vice, Kalani Jordan, and JC Jane also appeared. And also, I didn't write this down, but Kiana James had a very good showing, 20 minutes. No one was expecting her to be in for so long.
Coming in number 3.
But a surprise return, Brie Bella. This one wasn't rumored at all.
Nikki Bella was there as well.
Of course. So that was her first appearance in the WWE since the 2022 Royal Rumble. I think this basically means that we're going to see Brie and Nikki team up in the women's tag division, which you said earlier.
This is a stacked division, dude.
It's very stacked. Obviously,
all the women want to get in the tag team, mate.
There's only one women's tag division, and it's on Raw.
Yeah.
So that's why you have like Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, and then you also have, which is weird because Alexa and Charlotte Flair are a tag team, but they're on SmackDown. I don't get how.
So Lash Legend and Nia Jax.
But then you have teams like the Kabuki Warriors. You have Lyra Valkyria and Bayley. Now you have the Bella twins, and then also you have whatever Judgment Day combination they have. I've been rocking with the Liv and Roxanne recently. Speaking of Liv,
it's a stack, man. It's a stack.
but all signs
stacked.
will, I think, point to Liv going after Valkyria's championship on Raw instead of Jade Cargill's. However, if that is the case, will Bianca Belair return to WWE before WrestleMania and probably be Cargill's opponent?
Yep.
But if not, is it Tiffany Stratton or is it one of Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, or even Jordan Grace who just joined SmackDown?
This is the one where I think this match will be a multi meaning multiple opponents.
You could say that about Liv Morgan and potentially Valkyria because Raquel Rodriguez has been beefing with her for a while.
Yes, but I think that's more leaning towards a Liv. Raquel try and cost Liv the match at some point or something like that.
So on SmackDown though, like well, I should say for just the women's championship, who could we see be that opponent? There could be even other names we haven't mentioned. Maybe someone from Raw gets the opportunity as well. But yeah, I thought it was a very good Rumble. I liked the NXT showings. Obviously, I think Sol Rooker's put herself in the front door for getting called up, and she's obviously very close on NXT with Zarya, who I was surprised wasn't in this Rumble with her. And I'd kind of expect her to go with her unless they do a whole angle where she turns on her or one turns on the other before she goes up. Moving on.
Can I just pause at this as well? Because I want to say that, speaking of Jordan Grace made one of the best WWE TikToks I have ever seen. It was her, Kalani Jordan, Maxine Dupree, Chelsea Green, and I think was Soul in it? No. Who else was there? But there was a bunch of them. Jordan Grace, of course, is in that as well. I think there's 5 or 6 of them. JC Jane was in there too, sorry. And they made a TikTok video where they all pretended to be Power Rangers.
Really?
And it was mean. Go and look it up, by the way. It's one of Jordan Grace's top videos right now on TikTok and Instagram as well. So they all did the intros as well. Messed it up. Pterodactyl.
I'm gonna have to look at that.
Oh,
it's
so
quite funny.
good. I'm gonna have to show you after this, but it was very, very good. But let's move into the next match, my man, with the Gunther AJ Styles.
AJ wins with Gunther wins with a sleeper hold.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's actually retired because he goes to take off his gloves, put them in the ring, but he puts it back on. And I don't think AJ Styles is retiring because I know he said he wants to retire soon.
He did. He said this year.
But this, and I know not every wrestler needs to have a big retirement tour or whatnot, but it almost seems too abrupt.
Is that the way he personally wanted to go out, though?
I don't know. Maybe it is, but there are a couple
in like a match like that.
There are rumors. There's rumors suggest that this is not the end and he'll come back in some form. The rumors are saying he'll leave WWE and retire somewhere else. TNA for obvious reasons, where he spent the most of his career.
Yep.
WWE have a good partnership with TNA at the moment. Possibly means it wouldn't be the end of him in WWE.
True.
But the big rumor is that a lot of people are expecting that he could jump ship to AEW because there'd be a lot of matches that wrestling fans, based on pure wrestling, would love to see, which haven't happened with AJ.
That's not wrong.
I think it's the dream match for one of AEW's top wrestlers, and Will Ospreay. It would bang, but also you got other people in AEW. You put them against AJ Styles, and it'd be amazing. Like you got the likes of Kenny Omega. You have John Moxley there. You have Jay White when he's not injured.
Yeah.
You have a lot of talented guys, like younger guys like Cole Fletcher, other guys like Hangman Page, even Samoa Joe would make sense as a retirement match.
I could see that.
It's just I don't know.
Time will tell.
I don't know what the papers are saying. There hasn't been anything concrete. Maybe this is it, but I felt like this was just too abrupt. I was kind of expecting him to win this and then it get dragged out to Mania or another event, but we'll see what happens.
And can I say as well, on the other side of this, I personally like what they're doing with Gunter.
I think it's a good idea.
It's and and the reason I like it is because he plays the role bloody perfectly.
Oh, he's amazing.
They're kind of building. Dare make this comparison. They're kind of building him up like a 2009 Randy Orton.
I think in that same vein.
Yeah,
but
not exactly the same, but that like building that that heel character, that heel Mystique, that legend killer, career killer. You know what I mean?
Very different aesthetics, but
yes,
still kind of a similar concept.
Yeah, but man, I think he plays that role extremely well. Yeah. Extremely
very well.
So I like what they're doing. But have you got anything to say about the next match?
Not really. No.
Yeah, not too much.
I mean,
happened.
I was kind of like, I wouldn't have been surprised if Sammy won this. Sammy being Palestinian in the match, being in Saudi Arabia.
I would have been surprised.
I just
no
think,
way they have Drew McIntyre that short of a reign.
I think most people were thinking Sammy was going to win the Rumble because it was in Saudi Arabia, but obviously this happened instead. I think it's fine. Drew retained. He has. I think whatever person, whether it's the Rumble winner or the Elimination Chamber winner, whoever that is, it will be a good feud. It will be a good match. I expect Drew will still be champion come Mania. And speaking of the Rumble, Roman Reigns.
Now, you're going to have your opinions on this one.
Roman Reigns wins the Royal Rumble for a second time, returning to WWE for the first time since Survivor Series at the end of November.
Yep.
Before we get to that, Obafemi, who still isn't affiliated to a brand, entered at number 1 and eliminated 5 people. But, weirdly, is eliminated by Brock Lesnar after 40 minutes mid Jey Uso yeeting session, I believe, or very much before.
No, was that when Brock Lesnar was eliminated?
Brock Lesnar got eliminated when Jey Uso was busy yeeting in the ring. I'm not going to gripe too much about that because I think enough people have. Yes, it's funny. Yes, it's hype, but in the middle of a Rumble, come on.
I think that that's a bit rough. Yes, it's rough. Also, I personally think that Brock Lesnar getting eliminated midway through that entrance, I think was actually a human error.
I think, I have a feeling
that
they just wasn't supposed to be the case.
But it happens. It's human.
But nevertheless, it was a great first appearance for him in the Rumble. I don't think it was in last year.
No, it wasn't.
A new Raw signee, Javon Evans, also had a great showing despite no eliminations.
Bouncy
he was in there.
Athlete, dude.
Bouncy. He looked very, very good. Clearly going to be a part of that Raw roster. I have a feeling he's probably a very high contender to take the IC title off Dominic Mysterio when he returns.
Yeah.
Braun Breaker entered number 2 and is attacked straight away by a hooded figure. Another hooded figure involved in the division. And you've
another
got to have
curb stomp as well.
Paul Heyman eventually came out with Brock Lesnar later in the Rumble for some reason, but it didn't end up working. Triple A wrestlers, Mr. Iguana, who I was very happy to see. And
my goat.
And La Parka, who I was surprised to see, appeared. Chad Gable returned as the original El Grande Americano, coming out one place
We don't know that.
We do. Coming out.
We don't know that.
One place after the current El Grande Americano, played by Ludwig Kaiser,
we don't know that
eliminated
either.
him. Randy Orton. Randy Orton managed to be the third man left, and the only other major debut being former AEW wrestler Powerhouse Hobbs, now known as Royce Keys. Funny that they actually flashed up Powerhouse Hobbs before removing it, which I think should be how any wrestler's introduced in a new promotion.
Big facts.
He eliminated Damian Priest. Roman Reigns, who did win it all, is a SmackDown wrestler, but there are arguments for him to face both of Drew McIntyre or CM Punk. Obviously, McIntyre had that bloodline killer thing going on for a bit, but that has kind of been turned back. Yeah. He seems more upset with Cody Rhodes still for whatever reason. He attacked Cody, actually eliminated him from the Rumble. But CM Punk, obviously, they faced each other last year at WrestleMania.
I think, we'll talk about this. I think they're setting up another triple threater.
I don't know if Seth gets involved with them because when Seth comes back, he'll go after the Vision. So I just don't.
Are we sure that was him in the costume, though?
Well, I'm not saying it is him in the costume, but he will still want to go after the Vision because they kicked them out.
Yeah. But anyway, what I want you to talk about what you've got here, because with the first part, I do both agree and disagree with what you're saying.
So I've just put WWE's mostly their male roster. They have signed a couple of younger guys to their main roster.
Yes.
It's still very old. It is very, very old. And if they're trying to build new stars, why did they have Roman Reigns win this for a second time? He works part-time. He will come in for a month or two. He will go away for just as long, if not longer. He will come back for a month or two, leading into big pay-per-views. I know, regardless of star power, I don't know why you'd give this to a guy who's not here all the time. If he's here all the way until Mania, that's fine. But if he wins that match at Mania and becomes champion, he can't go away. And what's the point of giving a story almost? And this is not a personal attack on Roman or anything. Giving this guy an opportunity, unless they are very confident it's going to be a great storyline for 3 months or 2.5 months, and he's not going to win, and he probably won't come back till SummerSlam. So, and I think there could have been many people calling something like Obafemi to win it all. He faced Cody Rhodes at Saturday Night's main event. He's faced top opposition. He could be a great wrestler. If it's Drew or CM Punk, it's a bit complicated. Maybe it would probably have to be Drew, maybe because of face versus heel shenanigans. But it could have been another LA Knight. LA Knight, who was in this race, he returned from injury. Could have been.
He looked great.
Could have been excellent. I think LA Knight should be in those conversations.
Yep, I agree.
He could easily face Punk or Drew. I think Drew would make maybe slightly more sense.
Yeah.
But he'd have a great feud with Punk. But again, you could maybe also say, why does Liv need to win it? She's already been champion a couple of times. But I think that's more of an argument for her to win this than Roman. I think she makes a little bit more sense. She's clearly someone who's almost won this so many times. I think she does deserve it.
Yeah, I think
Roman doesn't deserve anything because he's done everything.
You are right. I'm just going to interject here for a little bit. I think Liv deserved to win that Rumble.
I think she did.
100%. She has been the biggest woman's heel character for at least the last 2 years.
And she's been injured a few times, but comes back and delivers every time.
I think this was the right Rumble to win.
And to come back and immediately not go into a big feud with Rhea Ripley, who was such a big part of the previous run, I think is excellent. She's gone into the Judgment Day. She's been, feuding with other people.
Yep.
She has faced Rhea since, but this has worked perfectly.
What they're doing I actually think what they're doing with the whole women's division in terms of storyline, stuff like that with WWE, I think it's pretty much bang on.
I think it's
the majority of the time,
especially on Raw.
The men's where they're, it's a little bit more average.
And a lot of and a lot of people were calling in terms of a younger star winning the Rumble.
Braun Breaker.
He's right there, and yes. I'm skipping a few sentences.
Go for it. Doesn't matter. We've already talked about
it. Going out into the Rumble at second and basically getting eliminated straight away. Did that really need to happen, regardless of storyline? I don't think it did. I think he could have been eliminated during the match, not before it's even begun. Yes, it gets Obafemi another elimination. And the whole idea of Paul Heyman walking out with Brock afterwards doesn't make sense to me, at least yet. I know they had an alliance with the Vision at Survivor Series, but I don't even think it's worth it for the storyline to have him eliminated so early, because this is a guy a lot of people thought could win this, could be a massive part, a lot of big moments. This Rumble, I think, missed a lot of big moments, and I think if Braun was there, that maybe wouldn't be as much of the case, and he'd be perfect. He'd get another opportunity at Punk, or McIntyre and him would probably put on a great match.
True.
And also, I didn't actually skip anything. Also, did two AAA wrestlers needed to compete when you had guys like Finn Balor who were.
I would have liked to have seen Finn Balor.
Finn Balor was told, I think, on a previous Raw that it was full. And he had the matches against CM Punk. Everyone thought he was going to turn face. He ends up basically cementing himself as a heel, which not a lot of people were happy with. I was kind of hoping that Finn was going to go do his own thing.
Yep.
Does this lead to something? I assume it does, because why would you not have Finn Balor in the Rumble? I'd assume he's going to be involved in some form of storyline. Who it's against, no idea. Could be Drew, could be CM Punk. And I'm not saying, Mr. Iguana and La Parka shouldn't have been in the Rumble. I think Mr. Iguana makes sense. La Parka is a weird one, because the character of La Parka is synonymous with Lucha Libre. It's one of the most iconic characters of all time. But this, believe it or not, this is not the same guy who played La Parka 30 years ago. That La Parka is a 300-pound Mexican man who likes to hit fans during matches. Although this La Parka is also Mexican. I don't know why I specified that. The difference, this La Parka is very skinny and very agile.
Yeah.
The OG La Parka, who also appeared in WCW, like I said, was quite fat. And when you watch matches of him now, he currently goes by LA Park because he can't use the name because it's owned by AAA. There are several videos of him doing matches in the crowd and then just attacking fans. Which is hilarious.
Right.
This is also the same guy who infamous chair shot on Goldberg, and then Goldberg speared him and broke his leg. iconic. Not really for him. Philip Parker being in there was, I know they want to honour this relationship with AAA. I think Mr. Iguana would have been enough.
Yes,
also,
I agree.
Surprisingly, no Joe Hendry involved.
Nope.
He was involved last year. And no wrestlers from NXT on the men's side, which I know would have been a bit difficult, but you have some great names there. You have the likes of Ethan Page, Ricky Starks, kind of TNA/NXT. You have Leon Slater. You have a lot of names you could have seen, and even on the women's side, I was surprised not to see Blake Monroe.
Because I think that's a name.
Although maybe that just didn't suit the Rumble this time around, but she will be involved sooner rather than later. Yeah. Did Brock Lesnar really get anything from eliminating Obafemi?
I've got a thing here. I don't think Brock Lesnar got anything from eliminating Obafemi. I think Obafemi got a lot from eliminating Brock Lesnar.
Well, no, he didn't eliminate Brock Lesnar. He got eliminated by Brock Lesnar.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Oba was eliminated by Brock.
Sorry, you're right. Okay. Yes, you are right. I'm trying to remember this for the match. Agreed.
Brock doesn't get really anything out from eliminating. It should have been the opposite. The opposite should have happened.
Like I just said, I thought it happened.
It could have set up a great non-title match at Mania. But look, and also, although I would have preferred Gunther to win this Rumble over Roman Reigns.
I think that would have been.
Because it makes more sense. It would build him up to be even more of a heel. And although the career-ending aspect of him really, I think, only puts one specific wrestler as his target at Mania. Because he didn't win it.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, but if he didn't win it, did he really need to take up a spot after facing AJ earlier that night? Like, I get it.
I'm not going to lie to you. Yes.
Yeah, I get, but also, like, they didn't get the same luxury to AJ Styles. They didn't get the same luxury to Sami Zayn. You know, but I feel like it would have made a lot more sense if he had won it. You know, he comes in at 30. He could win it.
I think he needed to win it.
And I think him and Punk would be great. I know, obviously, they've ran the Punk thing before, but with Drew McIntyre, I know they're both heels, so maybe not work. And maybe
it would have been CM Punk. I think
does it work because if they already faced at SummerSlam, you know, and Punk won it and then lost it to that cash in by Seth Rollins, but it could maybe work because Punk is a bit old. So you could do the career.
You could do the career thing with the title on the right line as well. But I think if it's at WrestleMania, I think Punk would actually win that match.
Yes.
But like, yeah, you're right. I think Gunther should have had that like historical night and won that match.
Yeah, and he would have been a bitch about it on the Monday Night Raw.
Oh,
tomorrow.
that would have been
the
best
part. It would be amazing.
Part.
It would be great. And also Randy Orton. It doesn't really matter that he finished third. But what would he get out of it? You know, he's already won the Rumble before. The
only thing I think he should, I'd love to see him win number 15. He's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. I don't think it should be at WrestleMania. I think it should be another pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But you know,
it's weird. Also, with Drew McIntyre eliminating Cody, I feel like they could be booked in for some form of match for the title at Mania, but I think Jacob Fatu will be involved because him and Rhodes are supposed to have a match together. It hasn't happened yet because
could we get a street fight on the
triple threat?
No, I get that.
McIntyre,
what I mean
Rhodes,
is
Fatu,
just have the Rhodes Fatu street fight.
Heavily possible.
And then because will they have Elimination Chamber?
Yes, it's in somewhere.
And then get a contender for Drew from there.
Yeah.
I think that's better. But I did want to address one thing that you said because I agree with pretty much everything you said. It's the building new stars thing.
Yeah.
So I think there's a clear thing here from WWE. Because let's be real, I think at least for me personally, Obafemi, Javon in the men's Royal Rumble.
Oh, we've got to mention one guy who also appeared, who looks like a star. He's signed to a brand, Trick Williams.
And this is where I'm going to.
Yeah.
Coming out in the fur coat to then go and hit somebody in the fur coat is pretty bad.
I saw him coming up. He walked down in his fur coat and got on the ring and didn't take it off. I was like, has he forgotten to take the fur coat off?
I think he might have actually.
I think for a second, because he was in it for maybe like 10, 20 seconds.
Yeah.
In a fur coat in the ring. I'm like, he has to take that shit off.
That's actually kind of goat. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, yeah.
But the big three, to me at least, Javon Evans, Obafemi, Trick Williams. I do think WWE did a job, I'm going to say a job, and I would say a good job, of building those guys up in this match. I think WWE thinks that there's not that the guys that are coming up are still too young and within character to take that moment.
I guess it's a good point, but it also shows like I think they needed like also just throw one of them into it, you know? Like
I get that.
As long as the next elimination chamber winner isn't, but it's going to be someone who's won it, who's been in the picture before, I think.
Yeah.
But if they're labeling this as like a year-long transitional period, and then next year it gets to a point, then yeah, absolutely, I agree with that. But it's a bit scary where all the guys who are wrestling are in their 40s or their late 30s, compared to the women's side where both in the final three, Sol Ruka and
Tiffany Stratton
both born in 1999. Liv Morgan born only a few years before that. Very, very young wrestlers comparatively.
So that's you know, that's where WWE and your boy Paul Levesque, aka Triple H, is going to have to sort that, you know, sort that out. But there is, I think, what I saw is that there's clearly talent there.
Yeah.
But at least on the men's side, the creatives in the back aren't trusting them enough yet.
They have to just
and you have to, and at some point you're going to have to.
But I'm also really excited to see what they do with the now named Royce Keys. I think he has to be on whatever brand Obafemi is not on, because I feel like they will potentially overshadow each other.
Could I just say, a little bit of a dream match: Royce Keys and Big Bronson Reed.
Oh, yeah, that will... Well,
they lined up, I think, in this... Did they line up in this match at some point?
I think so.
They
did.
did.
Keys obviously stared down Cody Rhodes because they had, I believe, a storyline in AEW.
Yeah, they did.
So, depending where Keys ends up, if he ends up on SmackDown, he could at one point face Cody, but he's preoccupied with Jacob Fatu, I think. But
at the end of the day, on the men's side, do WWE need to trust their young guys more? I personally think yes, a little bit more. And I'm sure you agree with
the IC title winners recently have included like Bron Breakker and Dominic Mysterio. They're both very young. And Bron Breakker and Dominic also win that top for the future.
And I'm going to be honest, I know you had Gunther, in that top two, Gunther should have won it. I actually thought LA Knight was going to come out and win it, and I thought he was. I thought he should have won it. But before that, I actually think Bron Breakker should have won it.
Yeah, I think it would have made sense. I wouldn't mind running back the Breakker CM Punk feud again for Mania.
No, hell no.
And it would have given a great opportunity for Breakker to win it.
Yeah.
But
Paul Heyman involved too. Shit.
LA Knight, I think taking down Drew McIntyre would have been excellent.
Yeah,
because I think he would have faced Drew McIntyre, and they could have easily had Roman or Braun or someone else win the Elimination Chamber and get through the other way.
That's a better way to do it instead of having Roman win the Rumble. But I think
Roman winning the Rumble it's the safe option.
Yeah, but it also feels like a move where WWE's just trying to say, okay, let's finish this guy's legacy off where he's in that echelon of guys that have won 2 Rumbles.
Yeah.
To me, that's not the way you do it.
No.
I love Roman Reigns, don't get me wrong. I love fucking character. He always fucking comes in shape. And he's a great wrestler. And that character, that tribal character, is one of the best characters of all time.
Tribal Chief.
Tribal Chief, yeah, you're right. But like, you had Gunther there, who could have had the historical night. Man, give it to him. You had LA Knight, who I think that would have been the underdog story and a half.
Something, yeah.
Win that. You had Bron Breakker go out to a hooded figure. This hooded figure better be somebody big. Because
it could just be
Seth. Better be a freaking mean match at
I just thought it was Seth, but I don't really know who else it could be.
And then on the women's side... I actually, and I think they've done this in the past Rumbles, I think there's a little bit too much of a pattern now. I don't think you can do the same thing next year with having like the you have the winner, the established star, and then you have the up-and-coming NXT
I think they'll still have them, but maybe not third, or maybe they win it completely. Depending.
Yeah, true. But that's what I'm saying. Like, that happened pretty much the exact same thing as last year.
Yeah.
I don't want that to become too repetitive, but I love the way that
it should happen
they're building, what's it called? They're building the woman stars up. Because Sol Ruka, I think, now has to come through.
Well, it helped when Roxanne had that Rumble thing. Yeah. It helped when she eventually ended up on the main roster full time. Exactly. A lot more visibility, and it was a bit slow at first, but it worked very, very well.
Yeah.
And also, I think what they've done the last 2 years of the Rumble with the NXT wrestlers for the women, they should do it with the men next year. If there is someone, if there is someone there,
Yeah,
well, technically, Obafemi could have been that guy this year because he's kind of NXT, but he's really main roster. We just don't know where. But I think there could be. I don't know exactly who in NXT at the moment could be there. I know they've signed a lot of guys from Europe who look very good. Elio Lafleur, Jamie Garcia, and another guy who's known as Mike DeRutter from Belgium. They've all been signed. Is that him? Another one, another Daviccio or something. They've all been signed. They look. They'll be in NXT for a little bit, but they both look brilliant. I know Agile. Elio Lafleur, is formerly known as Agile Blanc, has been wrestled in AAA already. Also, they've got a great guy who I think's the WWE Evolve guy called Jack Cartwheel, who looks insane. I think he'll come to NXT and be great. And you'll have Leon Slater in NXT sooner rather than later. And Joe Hendry, although he's not that young, will be on SmackDown, I reckon, very soon.
So in terms of I think I'm just going to put this out there. How Ethan Page is not on the main roster, it blows my freaking mind.
Him and Ricky Stark should be there now.
But so and that's the thing. So we'll see what time plays out after this. If let's just end it off an overall grade for the overall Royal Rumble.
C.
Are you giving it a C?
C.
Okay, I would give it
passed.
Yeah, I would give it a B.
It was very safe. It was a safe Rumble. Could have been a lot worse, but because I think you compare it to last year almost. With the men's Rumble specifically, the contents of that Rumble were great.
Yes.
The finish. Ended up winning? Not so much. This time around, it was kind of just all average. Like, there wasn't no big surprise. I think a lot of people were expecting Chris Jericho to return. He will return at a later date, I assume. But, it just no big surprise. Maybe Powerhouse Hobbs briefly being called Powerhouse Hobbs, maybe. Or I think a lot of people weren't expecting him to be debuted at the Rumble. It obviously means they show a lot of faith
Also,
in him.
the Royal Rumble returns, where are they? The old school classic Royal Rumble returns.
I think I saw a Twitter post about that. Someone brought up that those kind of nostalgia returns only started happening after WCW was brought, and then really happened for 10 years. But do we really need to, like what they did in 2008 and waste a Rumble spot on the 50-year-old Roddy Piper and a 50-year-old Jimmy Snuka?
They do not need to go that far. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm talking maybe a guy. I'm trying to think of a guy off the top of the dome.
I mean, I guess Mr. Iguana was a very great little surprise.
I would have loved to have seen a Mr. Iguana Joe Hendry face off.
Yeah, I think Joe Hendry is. I'm surprised he wasn't there.
You know what? No, I get your point, but I still there are some old school returns that were mean.
Oh yeah, and
do you know what I mean? So
but hey,
but I get your point.
I think we've yarned a little bit too much about the Rumble.
That's fair. But I'm going to end it off. I gave it a B. I do see WWE's attempt to make stars of the young talent. But I just think they need to follow through with it more.
Yeah, I feel like we're dragging it out. And and they just drag it out and drag it out and drag it out. They can't stop it. They can't stop it. They just have to do it.
But in saying that, I'm sure we will cover Elimination Chamber or whatever it's going to be called when that happens.
And Dylan won't be here for it, but when Mania happens, I will probably yarn about it.
All right, good on. I'm very glad. But with that being said, let's end it there, man. That's a good almost an hour and a half.
90 minutes, the longest one in a while, I think. Yeah. I thought it was going to be a quick one, and then obviously the NFL took up some time, and now this, Can't stop us.
No, I'm glad because I love talking some sport, man. I hope you love hearing us talk some sport as well.
Oh, we hope you all enjoy hearing us yarn. And if you enjoyed that yarning, please follow us everywhere if you haven't already. YouTube, like and subscribe. Spotify, follow and save. And also CouchSide.network on Instagram and TikTok. Linktree in the bio. You can find us everywhere. Shorts coming out almost every day thanks to this man.
Yes, sir.
And on that bombshell, Dylan, I don't think there's much more to say.
Nah, let's get out of here, man.
Let's get out of here.
You can go get your Nando's.
I've got to get my Nando's.
And go see your family.
Go see my family.
What the frickin' hell, man?
I'm going to see them a lot. It's fine.
Good on.
But I'm very happy to see them in probably about an hour, and they'll be happy to see me.
And quickly, just to end it off, shout out to our 7-a-side football team.
Oh yes,
who this past week, this guy's been playing on the team for 2 years. I've been playing on for months, but we finally got our first win.
Let me explain it. It's 5 minutes to go in the second half. It's 0-0. It's hot as hell. Everyone is struggling. I collect the ball. I take it forward a little bit. I see Dylan This Dylan on my right. I can't really pass on my right. My weak foot left. Pass in front of a defender. Dylan picks it up. Hesitates. Bam. Bottom left corner. 1-0. What do I do immediately? Turn to the bench. Look at our friend Gabe and immediately go. Because I didn't want to fuck it up after assisting Dylan. I may have screamed a bit too much. I was counting down the seconds.
You reacted like Patrick Beverley in the playing game.
Oh yeah.
Oh fuck! It was awesome, man.
The context.
It was awesome.
I knew someone on the other side, on the other team.
Who?
My mate Erin, and I talked to her after the game, and I didn't tell her it beforehand because I talked to her for like 10 minutes before the game. I didn't tell her that we'd never won a game before.
Yeah.
Until after I was like, yeah, we'd never won a game before.
Because I feel like they dropped their level. I'm not gonna lie.
No, the team we played, they didn't have any female subs, so they chicks played the whole game, which was hot as shit.
That's true. That's very true.
Because my friend was complaining at the beginning. She was like, I'm going to have to play the whole game.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, that's not
true.
problem.
It was a hot day.
It was a hot day.
Yeah.
But
I didn't know you had a friend there, though. Fair play.
No, I did. I have lots of friends, believe it or not. Not as many as you, though.
No, calm down, please, mate.
Calm down, please.
Hey, friends don't matter if they're not true friends. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Exactly. If you don't do a podcast with them, are they true friends? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding because I have friends who listen to this. I'm kidding. He's not my only friend.
But besides the point, it was good to get that win. And let's end it on that positive note. Let's get out of here, my man. Yeah. As we usually do. You know how it rocks.
You know.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And CouchSide out.
CouchSide out.